So how can you practice your singing smarter and get to your results faster? In this video, I'm sharing with you my 10-step singing practice checklist, as well as some of those pitfalls that might be slowing you down in your singing progress. All so that you can get the most out of your valuable practice time. Let's get to it. Hello singing geeks, my name is Ronja Peterson and I'm here to geek out on your voice. So one of the pain points that I hear from a lot of singers, especially if you're studying on your own, is that you have very limited time to practice, and sometimes you practice and practice and practice without seeing the results that you want. So here's a checklist that I've made to help you get away from that. And it starts actually right here at number 1 with setting aside a specific time for your practice. Your dreams of singing are serious, and the time that you spend on your voice is serious too. So don't just wake up and then just practice for a little bit. Look at your schedule and check out your week and fill in some time slots where you're going to actually work on your voice in a focused manner. And this does not have to be these huge 1-hour time blocks, which means that you have to sacrifice something else in your calendar. Actually, 3 separate sessions of just 15 minutes in a week will yield you much more results than 1 longer session. And this is both because of the repetition and muscle memory that is really good for your learning, but it's also because of the fact that if you only practice once in a while but for a very long session, you increase the risk of vocal damage. Just think about it like any other activity you do to improve your body. So for example, running, you wouldn't just go run a marathon once in a while. You run, a few K several times a week to build up your strength. And it's exactly the same thing with your voice. So frequent, shorter sessions are definitely the key to success here. Great, now that we have set aside time for you to practice, steps 2, 3, and 4 all have to do with removing friction from your practice. Now, what do I mean by friction? Well, friction is anything that makes it hard for you to get your practice done. So tell me if this sounds familiar to you. You are just about ready to practice, but you forgot to think about if someone was at home. So now you're in your room and you're singing all shyly and you're not getting the most out of your practice. Or another friction is that you are looking at your screen, you're checking out those lyrics, singing along, and notifications are popping up. So this could just be like texting messages, or maybe email, something important, or maybe just like a notification reminding you to check out an image of your best friend's dog's haircut. Don't click on it. Just turn those notifications off. So step 2 on the checklist is to make sure you have a place where you can sing freely, and step 3 is to turn off those oh so tempting notifications. Now this moves me on to number 4, which is also a friction remover, and it is to actually just bring your water bottle with you at the beginning of your session. Even as I'm sitting here and I'm speaking, I feel my throat getting dry, and just imagine when you're singing and you're in your practice, you only have those 15 minutes. You have to get up, pause the track, go out, get your water, come back, and then just reset and get back in. It's actually friction for you to just get your work done. So bring your water bottle or your tea or anything that you have to do beforehand. Even go to the restroom before you start, just any sort of friction that makes practicing hard for you. And I'm sure there's a billion more things. I just haven't included them here on the checklist, but actually let me know in the comments if there's these things that you do before your practice to make sure that you're not distracted while you're in it. I'm saying this to myself as much as I'm telling it to you. Well, it is my checklist, so yeah, I'm also saying it to myself, right? And it's really because I think with so many options to do so many things today, it's really the ones of us who manage to hunker down and actually do the work who will see results. Okay, with that pep talk out of the way, let's move on to step 5, which is to make sure that you have a goal for your singing practice. And then step 6, which is to make sure that you know how you're going to reach that goal that you have for your practice. Now, to me, these are 2 of the most important steps on the checklist, and they will help you a lot if you can get used to this mindset of practicing with purpose. I see this happen quite a lot, and it used to happen to me a lot too, is that you warm up with any sort of of exercise track that you like and that you know, and then you sing through your song several times afterwards. And there's nothing wrong with this per se, and it's really great that you're practicing, but the pit that you end up falling into is that you are practicing the same thing over and over again without really knowing what it is that you're practicing, or how you're going to practice it, or why you're practicing it. So step 5, practice with a goal, and step 6, know the exercise that you're going to use to practice to get to your goal. This is where technique meets practice. And if you're unsure exactly how to tackle these big questions, let me give you a quick framework right now. So at your next practice, devote those 15 minutes to finding your what, so your goal, and then your how, starting by recording yourself singing through the song that you want to work on. Now I know this is scary, but I really urge you to try this out if you're serious about improving your voice. I see such great improvements in my students when they really start to listen to themselves and analyzing their own voices. So just record yourself on your phone. Remember to put it a few meters away from yourself so that you get a little bit of reverb from the room and you don't get this dry track that makes most of us cringe when we listen back to ourselves. The recording should only be the duration of the song. Don't pause to do a retake. We want to leave those mistakes in there so that you know what to focus on in your practice. Then listen back to the track and take notes, of course, of the things that you like, but also the things that you would like to improve on, because this will be your goal for your next practice. And try to be really concrete here and make it something very tangible, because if you do that, it will help you with your how, your step 6 of knowing how to practice it. So for example, if you hear yourself cutting your phrases short compared to the singer that you're singing along with in the song, then your goal for your next practice is going to be your breath control. And how you're going to practice that is that you're going to do breathing exercises in your warm-up, and you're going to transfer that technique with you into the song that you're singing. Other examples could be that you hear pitch issues or register control issues, and that will be the goal for your next practice. And so your warm-up / technique study, it will be focusing on pitch control or moving between chest and head voice, and then you're going to take that technique and you're going to move it into the phrases that you want to focus on in your song. And that's really it. In my experience, one recording will yield you plenty of things that you're going to want to work on for your next few practices. Moving on to step 7 on the checklist, and that is to prepare your exercise tracks before you get to your practice. So you have your how, right? You want to exercise a specific technique. Now, don't spend your practice time sitting here searching for the perfect track. This also has to do with removing friction. There's so many great exercise tracks on YouTube, and you can find those tracks in your downtime. You know, when you're on the internet anyways, just looking through things, or when you're on the bus. So just type in the technique you want to be working on and type in exercise, and then you can just check out a few of them to find the perfect one, so that when you get to your practice, you can just jump right in. Step 8 is to answer your why. And before you start to think that this is a little bit out there, just bear with me here for a second. Now, if you're working on something and you have no deadline, no one cares whether or not you succeed, and you have no stake in your success, are you going to really prioritize getting it done? Not really, right? It's like, it's not that important that you get it done today, so why not go to the kitchen and grab that refreshment, that's hard to say, or check out the haircut of your best friend's dog. You might as well just do it, because if you just wait and get your practice done tomorrow, then who cares, right? But I care. You care, we care. We want you to succeed in your singing goals. So try to find a reason why you're practicing. And it's actually a really common thing in goal setting. If you Google it, it's one of the first things that pop up. So try to find your why. Like, why do you want to achieve your singing goals? I like to make my why very tangible and very time specific, and especially if you can find someone else that's holding you accountable for reaching that goal, that's also going to work very well. So for me, I'll have a song that I want to nail before my next band practice, where everyone else, they're going to hear me, so I want to make sure that I nail it. Or, and this happens a lot, I'll have a student that's working on some really cool, maybe difficult material material, and I want to make sure that I nail it myself before I go into their practice and into their session so that I can teach it to them. You could also, if you have a friend or a spouse, you could agree with them that you're going to sing the song for them in a month. Maybe if you have a following on YouTube, you could say that you are uploading a video of yourself singing something every month. Like having other people who can really hold you accountable to reaching your goal. That's really key. So step number 8, find your why, find your purpose. That's going to help you get there. Step 9. Practice. So we had a really good talk so far about all the things you need to do to make sure that you're ready to practice. We talked about that you have to set a specific time, you have to make sure that you have a place to practice, then you turn off all those also tempting notifications, you bring your water bottle with you to your room so that you're just ready to go, then you find out exactly what you're going to be practicing, you find out how to practice it, and you make sure that you have those exercises ready when you get into your practice. And then you bundle all of that up into the reason, the why that you're actually doing all this practice so that it will drive you. And then now all there's left to do for you is to stand up, look in that mirror, press play on your exercise tracks and get to work. I promise if you follow these steps, you will see results. Step 10 on your singing practice checklist, which is last but definitely not least, is to take stock of your singing progress. Even if you just practice for 10 to 15 minutes, I really recommend that you just take stock of where you left off so that in your next practice you can be efficient and just jump right back in. And so a good framework for this is to answer like these 2 questions where you say, what did I achieve today and what should I focus on next? And how you can apply this is, for example, if you're working on register control, it will really help you break it down into smaller steps. So, for example, you can write down, today I sang all the notes isolated, so I nailed all the chest notes, the mixed notes, and the head notes. And then what should I focus on next? Well, next I'm going to focus on moving between the notes. And you might get some of the notes right next time, and then the time after, your new goal is going to get the rest of the notes. So this is a really good way to like break it down and then just see your progress over time. When taking stock, I also recommend that you just take a second to think about your song choice. It shouldn't be something that is just way too difficult for where you are at in your vocal journey, because if it's that hard, you're just going to be banging your head up against the wall without seeing any real progress. Think about it like any other instrument you're playing. You wouldn't just start out with this crazy piano song where you're using all your fingers and moving around the piano. It's just too hard for you to actually see any progress. And it is the same with singing. So usually a good song choice is right there in that sweet spot, right there in that intersection between where if something is too easy, you get bored, but if it's too difficult, you feel defeated. So you just have to be right there between those two. If you're looking for song suggestions, then join me over here in this next video where I geek out on great beginner songs. I go through their features and what makes them so great to sing. So I'll see you over there where we're going to continue to geek out on your voice to create the sound that you want.